Howdy, howdy! Welcome to K-Motion Kids Church. I'm so glad you came to join us today. I'm Miss Beth, and this is K-Motion, where we believe you want to love God, love people, grow, and shine a light. We're going to get started today with praise and worship.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you, I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keep, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keep, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. Oh, I worship you, Jesus, I worship you. You're turning lives around. You are here, oh, turning lives around. I worship you, I worship. You're mending every heart. You are here, and you're mending every heart. I worship you, yeah. I worship you, Lord. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Yeah, you're the waymaker, waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Yeah, sing it again. You are, yeah, waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Oh, that's who you are, Jesus, yeah. The waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is, sing, that is who you are. Oh, that is who you are. And that is who you are. Oh, and that is who you are. Even when I don't see it, come on, even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Come on! Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop. Oh, even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't.
So today we're going to start with a game. Anybody know what this is? It's called Bop It.
Bop it to start. Action. High score 51. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it.
already messed up. I was supposed to pull that in.
Score 2.
So twisting could mean like twisting here on the game, right? Like actually turning something and twisting it, right? Somebody might use the phrase, they're gonna twist your arm, right? Have you ever heard that before? Where they twisted my arm, which means they made you do something you didn't want to do. They twisted your arm. But the word twist is used a lot, right? And it's used to also talk about the road, right? Or away we go. Have you ever heard like a twisty road or a winding road? It's twisted, right? It's turns, right? That's the twisty road. Or there might be a path and it has a twist in it. It turns, right? So that's kind of an analogy, a way we can think about life, right? So we have our life here and you're trying to go straight, but sometimes it curves and turns, right? It is a twisty path. It has twists and turns in it. And those happen all the time, right? No matter how much we plan, because I am a planner, no matter how much we try to go just this way, it just doesn't always work that way, right? There's so much preparation you can do, but there's also things that happen. And we all know that. We're living in that right now, right? Who would have guessed you would have missed school and had to wear a mask now and all these other crazy things, right? Or maybe your mom and dad are at home, working at home with you, right? So these things are all twists and turns and things that are different in the world right now. But even though there's always twists and turns, there's something that's constant, that stays the same always and forever. Do you have a guess what it is? I think I heard it. It's Jesus. Jesus is always the same. And it even says in Hebrews 13:8, Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So he was the same God, the same Christ, the same Jesus before today, right? Yesterday, the day before, way long time ago. Today, and forever. So tomorrow and the next day and 30 years from now, and when your grandkids are here, right, then Jesus will be the same. He's the same forever. And that is a constant. That means it stays the same, which is super awesome when things like to twist and turn and curve, right? Super awesome. And I am so glad that we have a Jesus that stays the same. That means anytime I feel overwhelmed or I feel scared or I feel upset or I feel just like, like today was one of those days for me, okay? I won't go into details, but right? And you just feel like your head's gonna explode, right? But Jesus is always there. He is always there. I can always talk to him. I can say, Jesus, please help me calm down. Jesus, please help me see the good in this. Jesus, please do all the things that Jesus does, right? And we know all about these things that Jesus does because we've learned them in our classes and we've talked about it, right? He loves people. He loves you. He loves me. He takes care of us. He provides for us, right? Jesus is awesome. So no matter how twisty and turny and crazy things get, our Jesus is always constant, always there, forever and ever and ever.
Once upon a time, there were 3 workers, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These 3 men loved God and served God with everything they had. Then meet King Nebuchadnezzar. King Nebuchadnezzar told everybody that he was going to build a huge statue. It's huge, and gold. And he wanted everybody to bow to that statue. He was so proud of it and excited about it, and he wanted everybody to bow down. And he even said that if they didn't bow down, he's going to throw them into a fiery furnace. Fiery furnace, right? So people wanted to listen. They did not want to get into the fiery furnace. So he did his first test. He blew the horn. That meant everybody needed to bow down to the statue, right? And these three guys, because they loved God and they knew that he said not to do that. That was not an okay thing. We don't want to bow to idols. We wanted to remember that God is in control. And so they decided, we're not going to bow. And even if we get thrown in this fiery furnace, we're not going to bow. And so the king hears about this, and he gets mad, and he's grumpy, and he's like, well, throw him in the furnace. So here they go, and they walk into the furnace. He even says to turn the furnace up 7 times hotter than it was before. Okay, 7 times. So now it's really crackling, right? It's really loud. And it is burning hot. And so the guards come to take Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fiery furnace. Okay, even the guards that threw them in because it was so hot, they died. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were hanging out in the fiery furnace. And they're walking around. Okay, and then the king goes and looks in real close. He says, what do I see? And he sees another person in the fiery furnace with him, right? Another person. And so there's the fiery furnace and the guys, and they're all walking around, and there's another person. And so he calls the guards. Do you see other people? How many people did y'all put in there? And they said 3. How many people do we see in there? 4. Whoa. So then the king says, get them out of there. Call them out. So the 3 guys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, come out of the fiery furnace. And they don't even smell like smoke. They aren't burned. Their hair's not singed. They are fine after walking around in a fire that killed the guards that even put them in there. Okay? So then the king says, whoa! Your God is awesome! Right? He was so excited. So then instead of having these guys murdered and killed, he promotes them. He gives them a better job, right? And that's how the story goes. But what I really want you to think about is who was the 4th person? Who was that 4th guy walking around in the fire? I bet you guessed. I bet you know. But it was Jesus, right? He was walking around and there with them. Because he doesn't leave us and he doesn't change from yesterday. That was a yesterday story. Today till tomorrow, right? Or later. He doesn't change. He's always the same forever and ever and ever. And so he will not leave you. Even when things get twisty and turny and crazy. I don't think you'll be thrown in a furnace. I sure hope not. But when we have to decide, when we go back to school in a month, and we're like, oh, do I go to school? Do I stay at home? What about if my mom says yes and my dad says no? What if? Jesus will be there, and he will help you do whatever it is you need to do, right? He will be there yesterday, today, and forever because he doesn't change. That means his love for you never changes.